Hey guys, Dave with Moneyology here. Hope everyone is having a great weekend. This is the solar sector review for July 7th, 2019. The reason I'm covering the solar sector today is because looking through our charts around the world series, solar has been one of the hottest sectors, and I'll show you what I mean. And what I want to start doing is I want to find the sectors that are really starting to take off after multi-year downtrends or perhaps a multi-year basing pattern and are starting to break out into new uptrends. Or conversely, sectors that have been in multi-year downtrends and are starting to find some footing and perhaps will bounce into new uptrends. So that's something I want to do, and I want to gauge your opinion and see what you think about this approach. So without further ado, let's take a look at the solar sector. So this is the TAN Solar ETF by Invesco, and as you see here, effectively since 2015, we've been in a downtrend from a high of about 45.76 to a low of 15.74. We had this rounded bottom for for about 2 years, and we tried to break out. Then we went lower again, and we had a very, very interesting double bottom with significant positive divergence. That really was your first telltale sign that this initial rebound that pulled back was coming to an end, and this was a great opportunity to initiate a position. But if you haven't done so, question is now a good time? Well, here's why I think it's a great time. Because you had this double top over here, and this is interesting as well. Let's say you bought over here in 2017 and you rode this rally. So we had a high of 26.51 with RSI close to well above 70, right? And first of all, I'll point out that the high at 26.51 over here had a lower momentum than the high at 24.88. So that was your first sign that this particular rally was exhausted. But then we pulled back, we found some support at the moving averages, and then we rallied back, basically had a double top at 26.88. But notice the momentum, nowhere near close to the last two times we approached similar prices. So that's significant negative divergence. So if you didn't sell here and you didn't sell here, definitely selling here was very prudent, and then obviously retrospectively extremely prudent. We couldn't break above the 61 RSI point, and we broke down. And here we had this positive divergence, and here we are today. So we broke out above these highs. But notice here, the high over here where we are today at 29.26, RSI is significantly higher than when we were at 25.80. That's positive divergence. And so even if we do pull back, which is possible, we back test to this 27 area, this has the makings of a chart that wants to break much higher and likely test this 45.76 level before this run is over. So that presents a really, really great opportunity to look at what are some underlying companies within this ETF that we might want to look at for more leverage potential. So let's go through the 10 ETF, some of the top names. So Amtech Systems, ASYS, this one has been in quite a downtrend, but this downtrend was broken in about April of this year, and we broke out of the downtrend, and now we've been consolidating in this bull flag formation. We're at the very tail end of that bull flag, and it looks like we want to break higher again. And so this is a great opportunity to consider a long position, because once this breaks, the next move towards 7 is pretty much booked. But what happens afterward is a very, very possible move to 1050 area, 1075. So a lot of upside. Could even see a high of 1545. Notice as we were consolidating here, rounding out this bottom, momentum was consistently moving higher and higher and higher. We finally broke out here. We back tested this level, and again we're moving back higher, now firmly above the 50 RSI level. So really like the look of this particular chart and its potential. Next on this chart list is ATN International, and this too, this one's consolidating above the 38 level, which is very important RSI Fibonacci level, and now we're consolidating, and looks like we want to make a run towards that 50 level. Now, while this chart is not as attractive as the last one, I would say that if we can break above that 66 level, it's got a good shot making a run back at that 88 level. So definitely in the cards on this one. AZRE Power Global, AZRE. This one bottomed at 825 in early 2019. Now it's consolidating between about 1030 and 12, I'd say 1220. And so now we're at the bottom range of this. So and it's finding support at that 38 level. So this is a good area to consider an initial position because a move towards back above that 1220 area is definitely in the cards. It also presents a very good risk reward here because if it breaks lower, you can put a stop loss below the 10 area. So your downside's a couple percentage points, but your upside, even in this trade range, is good 15-20% to the upside. But if it breaks higher, this could make a run towards that 16 level really quick because this bottoming action here that we saw in early 2019 seems to me like the beginning of a new uptrend in this particular name and solar in general. Here's Canadian Solar, CSIQ. This one has had a really nice run since its bottom at 1137, high of 25.89. We pulled back some, shook some weak hands out below the moving averages, found support at that last breakout level. So here we are. We firmly back tested the 50 level, and now we're making a move back towards a move above the 61 level. And again, this is very important. There's positive divergence here where you see we're at effectively 23, and momentum is higher today than, well, now that I look at it, it's basically there isn't much positive divergence. I thought this was relative to the 26 level, but we're not quite there yet. But bottom line is the MACDs have crossed above 0, and I think the next move will be a break above 23. Once that happens, the next target is 26, and then thereafter there's a lot of blue sky available. So this one looks really good, and the accumulation is starting to pick up. Daco New Energy Corp bottomed at 2035, and it really hasn't looked back. We broke out above the 50. We consolidated for several weeks, and now we broke above the 61 level, and now we pulled back. Now we're consolidating here, and looks like it wants to break higher above that about 47 level. Once that breaks that 47 level, I would not be shocked to see it make a sharp move towards that 70 level. So a lot of upside here. And again, I like this name because it's got very very good risk reward. So the upside is 30-40%, and the downside is a stop loss, let's say at around the 40 level. So it's just really good risk positioning for a name like this. ENPH Energy, this one's absolutely beautiful cup and handle. So if you want to see a picture perfect cup and handle, this is it. It's gone from a low of 65 cents to a high of, now it's at 1964. Incredible for those. If anyone was lucky enough to ride that, kudos to you guys. But bottom line is we broke above this cup and handle, the neckline here at 8, and then that was takeoff point. So we took off. We had a beautiful hammer pattern here from a move of 10 to above 14, and now we're just kind of stair-stepping higher and higher. So this looks to me like it's one of those that's still in the early stages of an uptrend, and it's got tremendous upside potential, but clearly do your due diligence after such a run. Does it have more upside? If solar takes off and if this is positioned to the solar sector, then this could see move towards 50, if not much higher. So definitely this is in my on my radar. First Solar, so this is one of the leaders, one of the well-known players in the space. I kind of see a check mark, if you will, downtrend. Now we're in a very picture perfect uptrend, and while there's nothing real sexy, if you will, on this name, I think that this is just going to continue going up and up and up, and probably making a run for the 83 area. Notice here that we're on the verge of firmly breaking above that 69.70 level. We closed the week at that level, and once we break above this little trend line, then that's going to be your move probably towards that 75 area, if not higher. So really nice risk reward entries on First Solar. Hannon Armstrong Sustainable Infrastructure Capital, that's a mouthful. This one's breaking out of 28 right now. So again, a great risk reward entry around that 27.50 area, and with stop losses around that 26.50, which represents that 13-week moving average. So really nice risk reward potential. You notice the MACDs have now curled back above zero, and look at the accumulation that's been taking place in this particular name. Here's Just Energy Group, JE, not to be confused with GE. And this one I actually don't like because it's showing some significant negative divergence. Notice higher highs here on price but lower momentum. So unless we can break higher above this particular trend line, which is definitely possible, then that changes the game. But until that happens, it's possible that we're going to start pulling back because the momentum has waned. Jinko Solar Holding, JKS. This one looks great. We broke out of the downtrend that this was in since the middle of 2017. We broke that in early 2019. We back tested it, consolidated our gains, and here we are ready to break back above that 61 level. So this 22 area is a great risk reward entry with perhaps a stop loss around that 2180 area. And this looks like it wants to make a move towards 30 and possibly as high as 36 sometime this year. Macquarie Infrastructure Company Trust. This one has bottomed. Now it's consolidating very firmly with 13 above the 26. You notice it's just coiling right below that momentum trend line. Looks like it wants to break higher. This is going to make a move towards 44. I'd say the probability is close to certain. What's interesting for me is what happens afterward. If it breaks 44, this can make a sharp move back towards that 54 level, which is the previous breakdown point. But there's a lot of blue sky ahead for this name. Nextera Energy Partners, NEP. This one also is starting to break out with really solid support here. Stop loss below that 47 area and a buy above 50. And obviously do your due diligence for a price target, but this one looks really good. I'll just draw something out here that I just noticed. There's a trend line here that looks really good right there. That it's basically, you can draw it this way like this. So basically we're still in this downtrend, but it looks like it's just on the verge of breaking out from that, and that can be a very explosive move to the upside. So I really like NEP here. ORA, Ormat Technologies. This is a beautiful rounded bottom breaking out of the neckline here. This is going to make a run towards 70. So another low risk, high reward entry point here with a buy above that 62 level. Stop loss just below the 13 EMA around that 60-72 area. First target around 70. Once this breaks above the 60-70 level, that's going to be a very sharp move to the upside. Pattern Energy Group, PEGI, another one with a rounded bottom, and it didn't even coil back. And now it's breaking out. The 23 is a great entry level and looks like it wants to move much higher. Sunrun, RUN. This is a great name for a stock that's been running like crazy. You've got this rounded bottom over here, a beautiful rounded base over multiple years. Finally broke out of that. Now we've consolidated here. Another cup and handle. Let's draw that out for you guys to see what I'm looking at. So I'm just going to draw a parabola around this base here, just like that. There you go. All right, so here's the parabola, and then here's kind of the handle that we have here. So kind of cup and handle, and now it's breaking out, and so it's got tremendous upside. Now we're firmly above that 69 area of RSI for a couple weeks now, and this one's not looking back. So really like the risk reward here. It's a momentum name, so it can run really hard. Can also consolidate and correct. So be cautious here because it's already taken off. So maybe we missed this name, but nonetheless, you see what I mean here. Once you break out of this neckline, then the moves are indeed explosive. Solar Edge Technologies, SEDG, another one that's had a couple of bullish wedges here, bullish flags. Broke out above the 57.50 level, firmly above 70 here right now in RSI. MACDs are firmly above zero. So this is making a move, target a move towards 72.50. So nice little scalp here above that 63 level where we are right now, and then should be interesting to see what happens after it hits that level, but certainly still some nice upside between here and there. Sky Solar Holdings, SKYS. This has been in a pretty nasty downtrend, and the The question is there a bottoming opportunity here? It remains to be seen. I mean, for me, it's kind of a mixed bag right now, so I wouldn't personally touch it until it breaks above these two moving averages, because if it breaks below that 50-cent area on a multi-week close, it can fall hard. It probably has debt issues, and so while it can move really sharply to the upside, it can also break down and potentially go bankrupt. So don't know about the fundamentals there, so I don't want to jump the gun on the bankruptcy, but the chart just doesn't scream buy when the entire sector is doing well. Here's Rene Sola, SOL, another one that's kind of bottoming here, but this one's a little different because it broke out of its downtrend and now it's consolidating. If it can break above that 38 level, this one can make a very sharp move towards that 2, possibly 4 level. So it's got some upside. The downside, you want to have a stop loss below the 115 level. So if you like these speculative names, this one's something to consider, because the explosion to the upside, if they churn things around, could be very, very profitable. SPI Energy. This one is a very nice bottoming action from a low of 61 cents to high of 7.32 in just a couple of months. We've pulled back and now we're consolidating just above that $2 level. So if we can break out above this bullish pennant, this can make a very sharp move back to retest that 732. But again, this downtrend was broken in late December 2018, early 2019. We've back tested it so far successfully. If this breaks out, if it breaks above the 1326 moving average, then this can really run hard. So keep this one on your radar. SunPower, SPWR. This is a beautiful chart. Let's chart this out right now live. So a couple of things. One is, notice the accumulation starting to pick up. You've got the MACDs moving in a positive direction, and you have a rounded base that's been basing effectively since 2016. So here we are, and what I like to do is I just like to look at a lot of these inflection points to see, where we can draw certain supply and resistance trend lines. So here we are. Here's one. Here's perhaps another, maybe something like that. So we're on the verge of breaking out from a double top. That's on the price level. But then I also want to look at momentum, and I think momentum is more important than price. I've said this before. This is the 38 level of RSI. Here's about the 50. Here's the 61. And here is that 69 level. So we're firmly above that 70 level. It looks like we want to make a move towards that 16 level relatively soon, and it looks like it's just not looking back. Look at this uptrend that's created. So long as we're above this line here, this looks really nice. And here's that downtrend that we broke out of, and that's what happens when you break out of a downtrend. You just have very, very sharp price actions to the upside. And so kudos to those who have been long this particular name. All right, I think a couple more here. Sunworks Inc. So this one bottomed at 25 cents, rallied all the way to 197. Wow. And then it's pulled back, basically giving up many of its gains. But again, starting to consolidate here and starting to find some support. If it can rally back above that 50 RSI, perhaps coincides with that 80 cent level, coincides with the 1326 moving averages around 72. Then this can really pick up. So keep this one on your radar. This can really pop fast should things continue in the upward trajectory. Terraform Power, TERP. This one has had a very, very long consolidation, and now it's starting to break out here. So this one is a great risk-reward entry above 14 with a stop loss below the 13 EMA at 1373, and this one could move as high as $30. Notice it's now closed the week above that 69.70 area, and that's a very positive development. One of the better charts in the sector right now. Look at the accumulation that's been taking place, even as it has been basing. Vivint Solar, another one that's breaking out with a beautiful risk-reward entry above, let's say 750 here. Stop loss below the 13 EMA at 665. The first price target is around that 1060 area could move much higher thereafter. And I think this is the last one here, is VVPR International, VVPR. This one's setting up for a very nice move. It can break, if it breaks above the 160 area, then this one can really pop quickly. So notice RSI at basically 60 is higher today than when we hit a price high of 319. So some very, very positive divergence here. You got the MACDs now circling or firming well above zero, and this one can really run really fast. So guys, appreciate you watching this solar review. I'm going to do more videos like this in the premium Moneyology website that's set to launch in middle to late July. And for those of you that are new to our videos, we're opening up the premium service to the first 100 subscribers. 50 of you guys have already indicated your interest. I appreciate your support. And if you want to be a part of this community, there's going to be a freemium, there's going to be a free version of the website, there's going to be a premium version of the website that's going to include more videos like this one, more interaction with me, Dave, and it's just a community that I want to build around helping you and educating you guys, and to helping you guys become better investors, and ultimately making more money for yourselves, for your families, and making a difference in the world. So thanks for your support. Appreciate the follow on Twitter, StockTwits, and the subscribe on YouTube at Moneyology. And if you do want to be one of the first 100 subscribers, send me a note at dave@moneyology.com. All right, guys, thank you and have a great week.